When I woke up from a coma, I felt unconditional love for myself for the first time. And what was kind of scary was I realized that I had never felt that in my waking life ever before. I woke up and I remember seeing the ceiling and I was like, where the hell am I? And then all of a sudden, I felt like this warm embrace, not to sound cheesy, I'm just being real here, all over my body. It was like this warm, fuzzy, buttery feeling, this tingling sensation, kind of like how you feel when you're first starting to like fall in love with somebody. But I had that feeling within myself. And I had this inkling, like, the fact that this is the first time I'm feeling this feeling is part of the reason why I'm this sick in the first place. Fast forward, I am at UCLA Medical Health and I'm talking to one of the top doctors there. And he basically told me that the reason I was in a coma, the reason I had all these gut issues, the reason I had all these autoimmune issues, epilepsy, was all because of trauma. He's talking to me and I'm like putting all of the pieces together and I'm like trying not to have a conniption in the doctor's office. And, after he explained that, he told me people who have trauma earlier on in their life actually grow their stomach differently, and they usually have stomach issues for the rest of their life. I was like, okay, doc, so you're saying I'm screwed. Is that what you're saying? Is that what no. But I remember I left that office angry AF, and I was like, for the life of me, I am not going to be sick for the rest of my life, even if I have to change who I am on the inside. The thing that kind of hurt me the most was realizing that I didn't get sick because I had a weak body. I got sick because I spent years abandoning myself to keep other people comfortable. And this part is super important. If you're a people pleaser, like the first step to healing yourself is awareness. And just realize that your life is not only in shambles emotionally because of your people pleasing, you're also quite literally hurting your body. So please, take this as your wake-up call to start making changes in your inner and outer life, because you don't want to wait until you're, in a hospital bed and some doctor is telling you, you're screwed for the rest of your life, okay? That doesn't have to be you. You can start loving on yourself now. It just takes you being honest with yourself as the first step. Also, if you're a people pleaser who struggles to say no without guilt, I have a free guide in the link below. Say No with Grace. It'll help you get started. So I'll be honest, when I first had this realization that the people pleasing and emotional trauma was affecting my health, I didn't fully know what to do. I want to tell you that, after that, I, went on this journey of healing, and in 6 months, I was perfect. I was kind of in the dark for a while, and I just got little nudges of steps to take to start to help myself where I was, right where I was at. And so if you're a people pleaser, there's probably 1 to 3 people in your life who are ruining your life. It could be a romantic relationship, it could be family, friends, a work relationship, but there's probably at least one person who is taking advantage of you the most. And after having that physical experience, I realized that the person who was physically hitting me was the person I had to get out of my life. And this was no easy feat, let me tell you. I was actually at dinner with this person at their house, and I was helping clean up. I had forgotten to throw out an empty bottle of wine, and this person made the remark oh, you'll never be a good wife because you can't even clean up. And I got frustrated, and I walked into another room This person came after me and like went to go shove me like this. And for the first time in my life, I stood up for myself and I kicked them right in the torso, and I looked them in the eyes and I yelled, "I have never done anything wrong to you." And I ran out of that house and I never looked back. And I share this story with you really because I understand as a people pleaser how much fear you might have in sticking up for yourself and how there can be repercussions. Now, just know that I am not a therapist. If you're in a really unsafe situation, do strategize a safe way out for yourself. But I want you to hear me when I tell you I have been scared for my physical well-being and have still gotten out and have still healed. So I say all of this to say that this can happen for you too. You do not have to be in these circumstances because you're afraid of what's on the other side of standing up for yourself. And if you really want to think about it, this person could already be hurting you physically, emotionally. You're already having gut issues. You're already having problems sleeping. All right, you're already a hot mess. It doesn't get worse than where you are. So take the bet on yourself that if you leave, you will be saving yourself. So that is the story of how I woke up from a coma and realized I had to change everything. The first step is awareness. And the first step to healing is listening to those little nudges of where you can start to improve your life, because this was just the tip of the iceberg of me improving my life forever. So if you're a people pleaser and you struggle with saying no without guilt, once again, feel free to get my free guide below, Say No with Grace. I have so much love for you and I believe in you fully.